Radio Brockley, the UK's official #1 hospital radio station.
Hello and welcome to Brockley News, Radio Brockley's weekly show with news, interviews and information, including updates on all you need to know about what's happening in and around the hospital. I'm Alan Joyce, and coming up tonight we'll hear about a recent comedy event put together by the Disability Foundation, who are a charity based here in the grounds of the hospital. We'll hear a bit about the charity from their Chief Executive, Julia Henry-Lee, as well as hearing from some of the other comedy performers at the event. Then at 7:30 tonight, your chance to win some Radio Brockley goodies without leaving your bed on Bedside Bingo with David Rauch. Good luck if you're playing along. The patient reps will be up with you shortly. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, it's all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show with Emma Joyce. So stay tuned to London's longest running hospital radio station and officially the UK's #1 hospital radio station for 2016. It's Radio Brockley. So the Disability Foundation are a charity based here in the hospital grounds who provide complimentary holistic therapies to patients, staff and visitors. Now recently they held a comedy night to raise funds for their charity, and our reporter Ron Laver went along to be entertained.
It's Wednesday the 8th of June, it's 7:30 in the evening, and I am in the Sir Hubert Seddon Teaching Centre here in the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital at Stanmore. We're awaiting an evening of comedy, an Edinburgh Festival preview show presented by the Disability Foundation. And tonight we've got two main performers, Pierre Novellie and Tom Ward, plus compere Aaron Simmonds. And it's worth remembering as you're listening to him that he himself is actually wheelchair bound. Now, due to legal reasons, we're unable to bring you any of the actual live performances here tonight by the two leading comedians, but we will be hearing from the compere, and I am hoping to be able to interview the two main performers. So let's, without further ado, get on and hear from our compere for the evening, Aaron Simmonds.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your contact for this evening, Aaron Simmonds!
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd just like to say, first and foremost, thank you very much to the Disability Foundation for providing such a wheelchair-accessible stage. Lovely stuff. I'm Aaron. I'm going to be comparing tonight. Basically, what we've got is I'm here for comedy admin. Give me a cheer if you want admin. Yay! There's more admin fans than I thought there would be. The reason being, you've done the appropriate admin and got here on time. Lovely. As I say, we're going to do a couple of Edinburgh previews for you tonight. We've got two fantastic acts for you. And what they're going to be doing is going to go through the Edinburgh show. Now, you guys have all paid your tickets to give money to a great cause, and you're going to get two shows for it. If you're in Edinburgh, you only get one show, so you're already quids in, plus you've taken to the fact that the train up there and the hotels. So basically, you've saved yourself hundreds of pounds already, and there will be a bucket collection at the end, so bear that in mind. Fantastic stuff. I'm going to introduce you to the first act. He is a wonderful, wonderful comedian. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Pierre Novelli.
Talking to Pierre Novelli, Pierre is a South African.
Yes, originally. And then when I was 7, we moved to the Isle of Man, which is where I grew up.
And a French connection there?
Huguenot, so 400 years ago or something, but you look at the South African rugby team and it's full of Francois Delarue and all these names, which are the Frenchest names in the world, but they're all either English or Afrikaans speaking guys.
And how long have you been over in the UK working?
Well, the Isle of Man isn't part of the UK, so I guess technically 3.5 years. But if you include the Isle of Man, then 18 or 19 years. I moved when I was very young, so I was educated here, university here. And aside from comedy, the other work I've done has all just been sort of part-time jobs.
What made you want to join the comedy circuit?
I gave stand-up a go because it seemed fun, and I thought I might be good at it, and I'd done debating at school and things, so I was okay with being in front of people speaking, and my decision was that if I was bad at it, I just wouldn't do it again. and it was okay, and it's very addictive, and the addiction has clearly spiraled out of control.
You've been nominated for, I know, several awards, haven't you, over the years?
Yes, a couple here and there, and I've won a smaller one that's not for a full show, but for a set rather. Yeah.
So you're here tonight at the RNOH to do a show on behalf of the TDF,
yes,
at the Disability Foundation. Have you got any connection with the TDF?
Not directly, no. I mean, I've done quite a few things for charities, and to be honest, when all you want to do is do comedy, it's hard to turn down a normal gig, but a charity one is even easier to say yes to, because why not? You get to do what you want, and some money can come out of it for a good thing, and etc. etc. That's all fine, yeah. But no, it's not like some sort of personal connection. It's sort of booked all through official channels, which is probably more reassuring, I guess, in a sense. It means that they don't have to rely on personal channels to get people.
I think anybody that's been connected with the TDF in any shape or form are always happy to give their time. That
Sure.
always seems to be the way, which is why I asked that question. But no, that's good. You're coming here because they like the sound of you, and probably cheap as well.
Oh yes, very much. And I suppose I'm connected now, aren't I? So
you are connected.
From now on, I'm connected.
Yeah. You won't be able to get away. What can we expect from you tonight? What's your sort of angle on the comedy?
It's sort of pretty. It's standard in the sense that it's not sort of surreal, and it's not angry, or it's not unusual in that sense. It's pitched quite smart. It's not lowest common denominator stuff, but it's accessible, I think, through sort of speaking observationally and in a relatable way. Which is a very boring description of some comedy. Jokes, you can expect jokes and stories.
That sounds good. Who were your sort of comedy idols, I guess, growing up?
When I was a kid, there was no one funnier than Jim Carrey in the world, because when you're a kid, of course it's Jim Carrey, and it still is, but also like you've got Dave Chappelle. I grew up watching the black American comedian who's very, very good. I was very into watching Dara Brian's tours on TV, because for a while he didn't come to the Isle of Man, and then I think he started now people do come to the Isle of Man, big acts, bizarrely, but I think Dara started that through his sort of Gaelic connections.
Yeah.
So he knew the Isle of Man existed, which is probably how he thought of it. He's very good. He's always been a bit of a blueprint for me, because he mixes his own thoughts and very written stuff with just improvising and showing that he can do both. Yeah.
Do you do much improvising, bouncing off the audience?
Yeah, if someone says something, you've got to do something with it. I'm naturally a very lazy person, and that's not helped by the fact that I'm slightly better, I think, on my feet than I am in advance. So it's just an incentive to be even lazy.
It's interesting, because I was going to say that must be hard to do, rather than having a script, if you like, or a program that you run through, just to bounce off people and to go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
I would have thought that takes a bit of skill, but I guess that's your skill as a comedian.
I think it takes a skill, but it's like it's not hard to do in the sense that it's like hitting a tennis ball. It's hard to do at different levels of difficulty and skill, but it's instinctive in itself. It's not a conscious act. You don't think, I will now move the racket here and then angle it at 43 degrees, and your brain just does it. And it's just a matter of training as to how good your brain is at figuring out the best way to hit the ball back.
So you're hoping for hecklers tonight, are you?
I wouldn't say hoping. I don't know how brutal the hecklers are going to be at a charity event.
I would think they'd be fairly gentle on you.
I'd hope so. Yeah, we'll see. If they want to have a go, they can. Can't stop them.
Are you one of those guys who picks on some poor soul on the front row and
intimate questions?
Yeah.
No, you have to give them what they give you. So there's no point starting a fight. I'd bounce off people for affirmations. You want someone to go, isn't that right? And then you can sort of throw things to them. And sort of general questioning, nothing nasty.
Okay. And what about the future? Doing Edinburgh this year?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, this will actually be a sort of a early version of that show, is what I'm doing tonight. And I'm in a a blap, which is a stupid Channel 4 word for a short TV clip show kind of thing, like 3 sort of little 5-minute episodes online on 4AD, and that's not out yet, but it's called Outsiders, and it should be out in the next 2 months. Okay. I don't know, but it should be out soon, so that should be fun.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. Okay, well, good luck for tonight. As I say, I'm sure they're a very nice audience. The people from TDF are always very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time.
Cheers. No problem, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage your compere, Aaron Simmonds. I'm going to tell you a quick story about me. I am single. I know, you can't believe it. It's true. But I am looking to meet women. I went on a date 2 weeks ago with this American girl, right? And we went to the restaurant and she said, "Would you like a drink?" I said, "No, I'm driving." She went, "How do you drive?" Badly. A lot of people don't know, I have a lever on the side of my steering wheel. If I push it, it brakes the car. If I pull it, it accelerates. Other than that, it's just a normal automatic car. So I begin to explain that to this girl and I say, "Well, it's a normal automatic, like Knight Rider." "Yeah, it's voice activated." So I then tell her, if I say the word go, the car goes, and I tell her the word stop, the car stops. So she wanted to see this, so I gave her a lift home. And we get into the car, and I say the word go, and the car moves, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is fantastic!" Because Americans are shy people. And then I shout stop, and I slam on the brake, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Can I get this in my car?" And I think, probably not. I don't even have this in my car. But we carried on, and then she said, "Can I try?" I should have said no. I didn't. I pulled over and said, "All you need to do is say the word go." So she went, "Go." Try it again. Go. Try an English accent. Go. And I let go of the brake and she went absolutely mental, right? So she's loving this, right? And so she's doing this for the next 10 minutes, right? She's loving it. I'm feeling guilty. I've got to tell her the truth. So when we get to her flat, I show her where the lever is, right? And straight away she went, "That's fine. I completely believed you. My front door is voice activated." I'll tell you what, I'm going to go inside and slip into something more comfortable. And you just come up to the front door and say, "Open." Now, I was 99% sure that was a joke. But ladies, you will not believe how stupid men are, even if there's only a 1% chance of sex. There is nothing so sad as a guy in a wheelchair shouting, "Open at a door," in an American accent.
We'll hear part 2 of that package from the Comedy Store very shortly. This is Radio Brockley, and it's Brockley News. And don't forget, still to come this evening, we have Bedside Bingo coming up in just about 15 minutes from now. Your chance to win some goodies, so good luck if you're playing along. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show. Emma Joyce filling in tonight with all your favourite music. Let's hear more from the Disability Foundation's Comedy Night.
Are you ready for your second act, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the fantastic Tom Ward.
Where are you from, Tom?
London, Wimbledon.
And how long have you been doing stand-up?
5 years and 2 months.
Right.
Yeah.
What were you doing anything before that?
I was in a band before that, a couple of years before that, and got kicked out. I was a singer, and I thought I was crucial to the arrangement, and I was proved wrong. But I needed that. I obviously needed that. You know, you get what you need, right, when you need it. So
that was a good move for you, was it?
It worked out all right, yeah. Because I'd wanted to talk and make jokes, and that was more fun to me. But I was sure that I wanted to be a musician, but I don't think I did.
So was that the problem with the band? You spent too much time chatting between numbers and getting songs, on, and they'd all be going, "Get on with it."
Yeah, no, bands are difficult because you're working with 4 people and you've got to try and get on and talk about what you all want and make everyone happy. And it's different when you work on your own. You get to.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You only got to worry about yourself, you know.
What sort of music did you used to play?
It was quite 60s-ish, surf guitar led, you know. Quite twangy.
I thought you were going to say sort of punk stuff.
Yeah, a bit of new wave, early 80s, yeah, that sort of new wave stuff as well, but quite old school sounding.
Because I'm a child of the 60s, you might not realise it by looking at them. But I was very much into surf music and all that back in the 60s,
Yeah, Dick Dale and the Shadows and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. I've seen you perform before.
Okay.
And only once, very short, but I got the impression maybe he doesn't know what he's going to say. I'm sure you do, but the first thing you did was to come out and interact with the audience.
Right.
And then went off on a long piece based on the reaction you got off a guy in the audience.
Oh, right.
Is that something you do regularly? Is that the way you approach it?
I like to have a bit of looseness around it, yeah, so that it's not always the same show every night. So I like it to change, and I like the fact if you do talk to the audience, anything can happen, and you can end up in any conversation, and that's scary because it could go badly, or it could not be funny, or whatever. But I think it's exciting for everyone. So I do like that element of the unknown. But I do have. Tonight, for example, I'll have a set list, and then maybe I'll leave out some stuff if I get distracted by something. Yeah.
I would have thought that's the most frightening thing of all. You know, if you've got a script, you know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And but if you're just reacting to what someone else says.
Yeah, the most frightening thing for me is boredom. And for me, I want to be excited. And if I'm bored, then I'm not very good. For me, I'm more afraid of boredom than I am of failing. Because if I'm bored, then I'm useless, and the show's not good. You know. I like to feel excited by what's happening all the time. You know.
What are your comic heroes? When you were younger, you said you always knew you wanted to do comedy, but who did you look up to?
I really looked up to Vic and Bob.
Really?
Yeah, Shooting Stars was just a program in a way that kind of got me through, teenage years.
Yeah.
One of the things that helped, Ben Elton, I really loved, sort of 80s Ben Elton. Later on, got into Bill Hicks a lot. A lot of comedians will, love Bill Hicks. He's the comedian's comedian. Eddie Izzard. Yeah, those are my heroes, I'd say.
It's interesting you say Eddie Izzard, because you strike me as being fairly laid back.
Yeah.
And that's Eddie Izzard, isn't it? He's built a career on that.
Yeah.
Is that the way you are on stage as well? Do you tend to be?
I'm quite laid back. Yeah, people tell me I am. I mean, it's very different to how you come across is often very different as how you feel, isn't it? I'm very pumped and often quite high on stage, but when I listen back or talk to people, they're like, "Oh, you seem very laid back." It's like, well, you have no idea how kind of buzzing I was. But if you talk slowly or whatever, or seem calm, or don't move much, people assume all sorts about you, don't they? I'm not very good when I get too excited and I start becoming manic. It's not good. It's not part. It doesn't work for me,
It's the old calm on the surface, but the legs paddling like mad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What have you got coming up in the future? Edinburgh this year?
Yeah, I'm doing my first hour. It's called Sex, Snails and Cassette Tapes. It's going to be at the Pleasance Courtyard from the 3rd to the 27th of August.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that some of the stuff you're doing here tonight?
This whole show, yeah, I'll do the whole show tonight.
Right.
I mean, what I think the show's going to be, but it'll probably change.
Interested to know, we often see, especially around this part of London, people warming up like this for Edinburgh.
Yeah.
How many performances do you have to go through to say, that's getting there, I'm ready?
I don't know if readiness is ever a thing. I guess you can get more ready the more you do it. I've done about 20 odd shows now of this.
Really?
Yeah, which is actually quite a lot. Some people don't even do that for the whole preparation period. I've still got 10 more, so I might even cancel a few just to keep it fresh, feeling fresh. I don't want to go into August feeling like a sort of bit tired of it, you know. So somewhere between 20 and 30, I think is good for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you end up with a polished show, or how long are you doing at Edinburgh?
50 to an hour.
Right. I mean, in performances.
24.
Right. So will that still evolve over those 24 performances?
I would hope so. I would imagine so, because it's like everything I do, it changes. I don't really stick to the same thing every time. Probably change. Hopefully it will. And you learn, you get feedback from that room, from that crowd, from that experience, and it's, you know, you have to listen to that.
And I guess an Edinburgh crowd is different to any other crowd.
That's right. Yeah.
Different world up there, isn't it?
It is,
you know?
and the crowd changes every night. The demographic. You know, so we've got I'd say 40 plus crowd here on average.
40 or 50, yeah.
Yeah, and that can be the case in Edinburgh one night, and then it can be 25-year-olds the next night. So, you know, and that changes the way you approach it.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Interesting talking to you.
And you.
And I'll be interested to see your show later.
Yeah, great.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Thanks a lot for your time.
No problem.
Cheers.
Great.
I'm talking to Aaron Simmonds now. Aaron's been comparing tonight. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I don't get to do a lot of MC work. It's just not something you get a lot of opportunities to do. And it was really good. Great show, 2 great acts, and we raised a lot of money for a good cause, which is great.
Do you do this professionally at all?
I get the odd paid gig here and there. I'm just trying to get better at it, and then hopefully I will become professional at some stage. I look to try and do more stand-up than comparing stuff, but you know, when the opportunity comes around, it's obviously nice to try your skills in that.
What's your association with the TDF?
My brother's girlfriend is one of the trustees on the panel, and that's how I got brought into tonight.
Go on, name names.
Zena Smith.
So how long have you been doing the stand-up now?
About 18 months. It's still a very big work in progress, but I'm enjoying it, and I feel like I'm getting better at it, and that's sort of the key to it. I feel as long as I'm getting better at it, then at some stage it will become worth doing, and hopefully a bit more paid stuff.
You mentioned part of your act that your day job as a fitness instructor. Is that correct?
That is true. I am a personal trainer, and that's actually how I make money.
Because for the listeners, if they didn't pick it up in the show, you are in a wheelchair, and you got some good jokes out of it. But it seems like a strange profession for someone in a wheelchair as a personal trainer. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's typical. Far from it. I mean, I've been doing personal training for 5 years or so. I know one other disabled personal trainer. I'm not saying I know all personal trainers or all disabled people, but it's not a common thing, certainly. For me, it was just the thing that I was good at and I enjoyed doing, and I had a lot of passion for it. So I did it as a job, and I kind of stumbled into it, and I was lucky that I enjoy it. But yeah, it's just one of those things that is really enjoyable, so I carried on doing it, and it does. Because I'm self-employed with that, it gives me a lot of flexibility for the comedy, so it does work in tandem with it, which is great. Do you play around locally in the clubs, or do you go further afield? Are you local yourself?
I am local, so I live in Harrow. I mainly gig in central London. That's where most of the sort of the open mic and gigs that I can do are available to me. But there are some gigs locally. There's comedy at the Trinity, which is a monthly show, and there's gigs in Watford, which is all run under the Yellow Comedy brand. So if people were local to that area, then they could check that out, and they're very nice shows there, so you can go see them anytime you like.
Well, maybe if they do another comedy night, it seems to have been a success. We'll see you back here again.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do anything that I can. I mean, I had a lot of fun tonight, and we raised a lot of money, so I'm really glad about that. And yeah, if they want to do it again, I'd be more than happy to take part.
That's great. Thanks very much for your time tonight, Aaron. Good luck with your career as well in stand-up.
Thank you very much.
I'm with Julia Henry Lee. Julia, what's your position at the TDF?
I'm the Chief Executive of TDF.
And whose idea was it to put this programme together tonight?
Well, we were offered the chance to have the comedy night, and we took it. And we thought we'll give it a go and see whether people like it or not. And it looks like people did like it. So hopefully we'll do another one soon. Who knows?
You feel it's been a successful night, do you?
I do feel it's been a successful night, yeah. There was a good chance for the acts to try out before they go to Edinburgh and try out their new material. And it was great for us, and we've managed to fundraise some money as well. So, yeah, I think it's been a great success.
Well, it's obviously a fundraising opportunity, isn't it? And people paid to get in, and I see people putting money in the frying pan, as it turns out, on the way out. How much is funding important to the TDF?
Well, we run on voluntary donations entirely. We don't get any statutory funding or healthcare funding, so our work that we do in the community relies entirely on donations, so it's fundamental to continuing.
Have you got anything else in the pipeline, any fundraising plans coming forward?
We haven't got necessarily any events that we could advertise at the moment, but watch this space because things do happen quickly at the Disability Foundation. But we're really excited because we're involved in a couple of exciting new projects, one of which is with the Saracens Rugby Club, where we will be working with some disabled children, their parents, offering complementary therapies to them. So we're doing lots more outreach now, which is really, really good for the charity. We'll spread the word more about our work. And hopefully, yes, that will lead to more opportunities for small fundraising events like this that can get the community involved, especially comedy, because everyone likes that. Have a laugh and have a bit of fun. Makes a change.
Well, it is, and as we've seen tonight, you've seen two comedians who will be performing at the Edinburgh Fringe. It's good to see, and it's been a good evening, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We're really pleased, and we're really pleased to everyone who came to support the event as well.
Okay, just for anyone that doesn't know, can you tell us in a few words what the TDF is about, and how people could perhaps contact you, either to use your services or in fact to talk about donating or putting on fundraising events?
Absolutely. So we're the Disability Foundation, and we're based here at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital, right at the end of the site. We offer mainstream complementary therapies to any person with any disability or anyone with a complex health condition. We also support carers and NHS staff. So we offer things like massage, acupuncture, osteopathy, reflexology counselling. It's a free service. We just ask for donations to continue the service if you want to use it. And if you want to get in touch, our website is www.tdf.org.uk, which has got all our information, or you could give us a call on 0208 954 7373.
Right, well, thanks very much for that.
Thanks so much, Ron.
That was fantastic. That's the end of the show, guys. I hope you've had a lovely night. Thank you, one person. Obviously, you paid to get in. If you want to give a bit more of a donation, that'd be lovely. We don't insist you do. We don't actually have a bucket, but we do have a non-stick frying pan. So if you want to chuck a couple of quid in here, I will quite happily sit with this until you do. Hope you have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Well, it certainly sounded like a fun evening. If you want to listen to that again, you can do via our YouTube site. Go to youtube.com/Radio Brockley. You can listen to that and other previous editions of Brockley News. And you can listen again by listening to Brockley News Extra 5 days a week at midday for another chance to hear some of our recent interviews. Up next on Radio Brockley, it is Bedside Bingo, your chance to win some Radio Brockley goodies. David Rauch is calling out the numbers very shortly. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show. The wife's in tonight, Emma Joyce, so do tune in for that. From me, Alan Joyce, good night.